What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about a pretty popular topic, which is, of course, how to make a guy miss you. If you're watching my videos, you probably want this in some way or another, or you just want to better your dating game, all good. But I know this is a very popular topic, and if you want more on this topic, links are going to be down in the description to a playlist on more videos I have on making the guy miss you, such as how long does it take, when does he realize it, how long until he comes back, and things like that. Okay, so jumping right into this, how to make a guy miss you. This is all my personal belief on it. So the first thing I'm a big believer in, and I felt this when I was going through a very, very bad heartbreak, she kept popping up in my mind. I would do everything to get her out of my mind, okay? I would go hang out with my friends. I would talk to other women. I would do this. I would do that. She kept popping up. And it made me believe that to some extent, we are motivated by certain needs. And I needed her validation because I liked her so much. But I believe that she kept coming in my mind because it was some type of defense mechanism. I was sad. I was upset. My brain knew I was sad and upset because of her. So the brain, trying to do the right thing, kept flooding my mind with her. Okay? But it actually did more harm than good. You know, there's a lot of instances where the brain does, or the body does that. So I'm a big believer in that it is some type of defense mechanism, because when the brain and body sees stress and feels stress or experiences stress, they want to eliminate it, because your job as an organism is to survive and reproduce. And when you're freaking out and you're stressing and you're creating all these horrible hormones in your body, it is going to want to flood your brain with good memories, things that made you happy, because it keeps track of all this. I'm right. I mean, it's keeping track of all this, and so it is going to flush me with this woman who broke my heart, and it actually did more harm than good. Okay. So I'm saying this because this leads me down to one thing. It comes down to psychological needs. If you want a guy to miss you, it's going to come down to psychological needs, things that, you'll see what I mean. So there's many. I just named four examples here. You know, one of our needs would be of acceptance, and all these go much deeper than you can even imagine from an evolutionary psychological perspective, right? Like, you want to be accepted because you want to be a part of something bigger. It's for, that's more for like safety, for more resources, and things like that. To be accepted by the ones that you love, yada, yada, yada. Another one would be obviously comfort, feeling good and content as much as possible. That's always a good thing. Why would you not want that? Another one, which I talk about extensively in my videos, is assets, which are basically advantages or being better than previously. If I can have assets and I've experienced these assets I got from this woman, why would I not want them again? Okay. Life kind of sucks without, if you're having sex with somebody that you really like and then you're not having sex with anyone at all, let alone no one you like who you're talking to, that sucks. And then, of course, distress. When you're feeling stressed, you wanna get rid of it. You want to chill out. You want to relax. You want to get back into that natural state. So, things that trigger these psychological needs. I'm not saying this is what you need to do. I'm just saying these are things that trigger them. And I'm going to use loneliness as an example for all of these, and use them in different stages. So, your perception of things in the moment. If you're perceived, or if you feel or think you're lonely, right, you're going to be perceived as lonely. Like, if I if I believe I'm lonely, I'm going to feel lonely, right? I'm going to look at things from a lonely perspective, and I'm going to want to feel that by filling the void. Your emotions in the moment. Obviously, if you're feeling lonely, you're going to want to fill that void because you're feeling that way in the moment. You might not be able to see this down over here on number 4, but severely lacking a certain thing. So if you're really lacking people in the area, bonding, communicating, loving, cuddling, all that kind of stuff, if you're not really feeling it, then you're going to feel very lonely, and you're going to be very, very, very tempted to cure that. And of course, over here, last one, certain experiences, right? Certain experiences trigger it. If you're continuing to be lonely, or if you have a complex because of people leaving you, you're going to be desperate and filling that void. So you're probably going to ask, well, but why isn't he chasing me? What makes him chase me? What makes him chase me? And I would say it is two things. I would say he misses the traits that fulfilled those needs that he had. So you had certain traits, benefits, assets about you that he really liked and were seen as something good in his life. Common sense. He may not have wanted it before, but now that is a thing of value is gone, right? Now that this thing you have or you gave him is gone, he wants it due to the benefits. An analogy I like to use here with a lot of women is, and this is a philosophical concept, but you have to think of yourself. Okay, so I heard the example used as an apple. If I heard someone describe an apple, or told someone to describe an apple, they would say, okay, well, it's sweet, it has seeds, it's a fruit, it comes from a tree, it's green or red, it's crunchy when you bite into it. And I would say, okay, is that an apple, or is that characteristics of an apple? So it's these certain characteristics we grab, we put together in our brains as humans, formulate that, or think of that as an apple. I didn't even have to say the word apple. I could just talk to you about it or name these things, and you'd be like, yeah, that's what that is. Okay, so you need to look at yourself the same way. What are you are you these things to him? Because if he's like, no, she's a bad communicator, she's a bitch, she's too prideful, she's annoying as hell, she's needy, I mean, that's not going to be good things. Okay, you want to be named as positive things, him to you and you to him. The other thing, obviously, is triggering him to believe he needs these things. Sometimes we have to trigger a man to want these things. You must give him the opportunity to see what his life is like without those things. This is the biggest problem women have. For some reason, actually, no, I'm going to jump into it right here because this happens all the time. It's this one right over here. It's no opportunity. But going on to the first one, lost of value on things. Sometimes if he doesn't miss you anymore, he just doesn't see the value in talking to you and continuing what you guys had and going along with things. And if that's the case, you need to move on. I hate so much when women are so desperate, so fucking thirsty, so desperate, and they use the excuse, I really, really like him, to the point where they're willing to be so selfish that they sabotage his happiness. It's like, I really like him. How do I get him to like me? He just doesn't fucking like you. You need to move on. You just move on. I hate when women are like, well, I don't really care that he doesn't like me. Get him to like me. It's like, no, if he deserves to be just as happy, just as fulfilled as you are. And if he doesn't see you in his life, then move on. I mean, that's just how it is. But for example, what I'm saying here is he just doesn't see the value in these things anymore. He doesn't believe that the resources are worth, the investment to obtain you or the assets again. Just not worth it. Another one could be he's taking you for granted. This happens a lot of the time. A lot of my clients, it's always one of these three things or more with my clients. He takes your finance for granted and doesn't miss you because your value is temporarily lowered by being abundant. You were too abundant to the guy. You have to look at this logically. How in the hell will I ever miss you if you're abundant? I don't miss water because I always have water. People didn't miss toilet paper because they always had toilet paper until you really needed it during a time like this, the crisis. I was gonna say I'm dating this video. People a year from now be like, what the hell is he talking about? Toilet paper? Where does he live? He doesn't have toilet paper. Coronavirus. Okay, 2020. No opportunity is the third one. So many women don't give a man the opportunity or chance to miss them. Right? And they stick around and hoping that things change and then get so upset that things don't. right? Like, why are you upset that he's not? It's all a catalyst. You have to give him the catalyst. You have to give him the opportunity to grow, to change, to be something that he is currently not. And by you sticking around, hoping that things change, not wanting to miss the opportunity, or because you miss him so much, you are your own worst enemy. It's not even the guy's fault anymore. It's yours. I mean, I don't know how many times someone has to get bitten before they realize don't put their hand over the fence where it says beware of dog. You see the signs. You see I'm getting tilted over here because I hear this shit all the time and it gets me. So let me reinforce this concept then on making a, wait, is that the last one? Oh my gosh, the last one. Let me reinforce this concept on making a guy miss you, okay? First off, you have to have something of value. If you have something of value still, then he might come back around if he feels like it is worth it, okay? The second thing is you have to pull away 100%. This is the biggest problem women make. 99% of clients who come to me do not pull away completely. And let me tell you what I mean by that. There's two types, okay? Two types of access. There's, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm just going to pull away, right? The very surface level one, which everyone does. Well, I haven't talked to him in 3 weeks. Okay, cool. But then there's the deeper, more meta one, which is, does he believe he still has access to you? Does he believe he can still get you? Because you could talk, you can shut up and not talk to each other for 2-3 months. But if he believes he can come back around whenever he wants and has you and say whatever he has to say and give you his spiel and you fall for it, well then he still has you. Okay, so you have to change that, and you do that with just time. Okay, you got to be serious. You got to be stern. You got to stop taking the guy back over and over and over again, which just reinforces his idea on, yeah, I have her. So if you did it 10 times already, hon, you might as well just move on. It's not going to change. But a lot of women think it's just, okay, if I stop talking to him, that's enough. No, he has to believe that he actually misses you, which kind of goes into number 3. You have to cause something that doesn't involve him interacting with you. So example would be what I just said, or another example would be, let's say you still have him on social media, and if you want more videos on that kind of stuff, links are down below. And you're just posting things. Maybe he might comment on them, or maybe he might like them, or maybe he opens your snaps, but you don't say anything about it. You feel like, or he needs to believe that, oh shit, she really moved on. That is the only way to get a guy to miss you. I know you guys are probably wanting some extravagant thing, some crazy ass thing, but it's just a woman of value that still has the value. He believes he lost that value and something has to trigger it, okay? So that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care and peace.